everyone, I am back with another video, and today I'm going to try to have a cute makeup look, a type of look where you can still feel like real cute and glam without like going over the top and still being able to wear nice and cozy like sweaters like this one. I just got this one when I went to New York, just came back. It was such a good time. I'm gonna probably like put in some parts of the video, some clips of the places we went to. Mostly I was just there for the food, honestly. I'm a huge foodie, and so is my boyfriend, so he took me to a lot of places. He's from New York, so he knew the spots, so that was very convenient. So yeah, and maybe it'll inspire some of you out there to check out New York, check out those restaurants. Everything there, in terms of what we like spent our money on, was pretty cheap, for food at least, so I definitely recommend New York for people who are huge foodies and like good food and don't want to spend like a whole bunch of money. There's always something so good at a small little restaurant, and it's so cheap, it's authentic, it's family owned, and so totally recommend that. But anyways, let's get started on the actual makeup look. Alright, I want this makeup look to last, so just gonna spray a little bit of my all-nighter Urban Decay spray. And I will be color correcting. I'll be using 2 concealers and 1 color corrector. I kind of stopped working with or using the NARS concealer. I got the mini just to kind of give myself a chance to remember why I loved this so much. And I'm still going to be using my, typical Born This Way concealer, the color, I believe, Sand. And so yeah, but I'm still going to be implementing my tinted color corrector in the color Rise, just because it is such a good color. It has really helped with my skin tone and my hyperpigmentation. So we're going to get straight to color correcting. One thing that I stopped doing that has not affected me at all, and I'm surprised it took me this long to try this out, but I stopped using primer, face primer, prior to putting on any kind of concealer or foundation. I stopped that step altogether, and my skin looks great when I have, or my makeup looks great even without primer, and it does last just as long. So maybe I just have to find other primers to to play around with and see if it's even worth still having primers in my makeup routine, at least maybe for the big glam full makeup type of. We'll just be blending. Probably will fast forward this part just because it's kind of pointless. Actually, let me talk about the trip. So we went to New York for a few days. We were mostly in Queens. The first time I went to New York, we were in the city, more of the downtown-y type of stuff. But I don't know, I just really wanted authentic food. I had checked out Corona last time, and it was so much fun, good food, cool vibes. Felt I was in Mexico, at least the parts of Corona that are that the Mexicans live in. So it was really fun. But yeah, it was tacos actually that we had first when we landed. It wasn't ready, the hotel room wasn't ready, still was not check-in time, so we kind of just traveled with our luggage, which was not an issue, and we went straight to Los Tacos Numero Uno. Very, very popular spot. I think it even showed up in a Netflix documentary about tacos, I'm pretty sure. So I knew that I had looked it up a while back when I was planning for my first trip, and it was highly rated, good pricing, authentic, and so we checked it out this time, and yeah, it was totally good. Sorry, I just ate. The food was so good, the tacos were perfect. I'm gonna be putting in some clips of that, and I think that everyone should go there. And the presentation was real cute. The way they put the toppings and then wrapped the taco, it was real cute. I'm gonna do one more layer just because I feel it feels a little patchy. I should have probably I can do it right now, it's not too late, but I should have just put on or applied like the first layer, sprayed it down with my Urban Decay setting spray, and then blended it out with my beauty blender, or my e.l.f. beauty blender I should say. But I didn't, and it's not a big deal. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with my, all-time favorite concealer. Stopped using it for a while, but never really got sick of it. Only thing that I just didn't like is that, like, even just the normal tube, like, it would run out so fast. But I think that what's good with this type of, like, routine I already have down is that I don't have to use as much, being that I'm already going to be using my Born This Way concealer. And this has an undertone that helps with color correcting, and it's just a great concealer. So I'm just going to, this time around, be using less, and I'm going to be focusing under the eyes. I'm not going to be trying to do much else, maybe a little bit around my mouth area, because these peach undertones really does help with like the darker type of hyperpigmentation that happens with me. And I will do the same thing, and where I will just let it dry down and set. I have such like a bad scab from a pimple there, so maybe like the peach colors or undertones will help with that. And then just some right here. I'm not gonna like worry too much. And while this dries down, I will be doing my eyebrows. I'll do that off camera, so I will be right back. Okay, done with the brows. I think that the concealer has dried down enough, so I'm just going to start with this part right here. Just blend it out, blend it out. I'm going to do like lightly like tap around, but like I'm not too worried about this yet because I'm going to be using just this like type of eye blending brush, like kind of dual fiber, and I will help with blending, or it'll help, sorry, with blending this part without, moving the product around too much. And yeah, there we go, there we go. Boom. Instantly brighten the eyes, which is something that the Too Faced sand color did not do for me. Still love the color, it still like did its job, but I feel like the peach undertones in this NARS concealer, which is in the color Biscuit, does do it for me in terms of adding brightness. And I just really focus that right under my eyes, and then everywhere else is when I do go in with the Too Faced concealer. So now I'll go in with the Too Faced concealer. So yeah, while I put this on, I'll just kind of tell you like what we did next. This type of get ready with me is just going to talk about the New York trip, and specifically the food. We didn't like, do anything else except like eat food. When we weren't, trying out restaurants, we were with my boyfriend's family eating their good food, so it was just nonstop good food. And so yeah, so we after that actually checked out that Starbucks, like I think it's called like a Reserve, where it's like the huge Starbucks, it's so many people inside. They sell products, they make coffee drinks, and specialty drinks as well. And so that was my first time there. There's one here in Chicago that just opened up. I definitely did not want to go there because it just looked like too many people were always trying to go there. Like, it's Starbucks, cool, like it's not that big of a deal in my opinion. I didn't want to be like adding on to like the hypeness of it, which is like unnecessary. I also hate people or big crowds, I should say. So I was never really attracted to go here in Chicago's location, but we were already by there, and in the New York one, and it didn't look crazy inside, and it was much more chill, and still a lot of people, but there were so many sections inside. There was like even like a touring situation going on. People were like getting tours and explanations on like the process of their like coffee and all and whatnot. And so that was nice. I decided to try it was like a malt. It was like a cold brew malt, and it was so good. Exactly what I needed at that second. And I was so confused with the paying process. Like, no one charged us, and we asked, but they didn't really give us an answer, which is kind of weird, I know. So many people just drank their drink, like, at the bar area where they were serving or taking orders and serving the drinks, and then they just left. And I was just not comfortable with that. You know, me and my boyfriend were POCs. Like, you don't do ballsy things like that, you know? And people that were doing that, they were all white, and I'm like, maybe, like, that's white privilege? I don't know. I had no idea what the process was. No one was telling us. And so, like, me and him were so nervous, but ultimately we got up and left. And, like, we're leaving, and we're looking at the barista dude, and he doesn't say anything. He just says bye. So I was like, okay, maybe this is a situation where, like, you don't pay, but I don't know how they get their profits. By selling, like, the products, like, their bagged coffee, maybe? I don't know. I have no idea, but I was so confused. Okay, so I'm going to go on with the translucent powder I always use to set all my face and under my eyes. First, I'm just going to kind of softly blend any kind of creasing because I do have wrinkles under my eyes. Also, like, in this nose area part right here, the nose crack, like, the product does accumulate there. So I just like to, like, quickly blend that out there as well. But there's one eye. Alright, so now I'm just going to put some, starting in the bottom part of my nose and then just kind of like expanding outwards. Same thing with the other side. Outwards, there we go. And then the rest, like, right under my chin. All over the face now. So yeah, the next place that we went to, we got some pizza, or 2 places of pizza, I should say. We got, like, you know, a few slices just so that I try them out. I went to my boyfriend's childhood pizza spot, Pizza Palace, I believe it's called. I guess, like, it's a thing in New York to have, like, beef patties, I think they're called, and you can, like, request to have cheese in there. And I've never heard of that. Maybe I did, but I don't know, I didn't think it was a thing, a New York thing. And so I had that. It was actually really good. I liked it more than the pizza. And yeah, and then we went to, like, this, like, well-known spot somewhere else where they have pizzas. They're, like, specialty pizzas, and the one that they're known for is, like, an artichoke pizza, and the name of the spot has the name artichoke on it, so, like, that's, like, their main attraction, I guess. And it is good. Like, it's such a good pizza. I'm so glad we tried it, because at first I was like, I think I can go without trying that. But definitely I'm so glad I tried it. We also tried, like, the crab one that they had. And I also put a quick little clip of that as well. But yeah, aside from that, I also tried some noodles from, like, you know, an Asian spot. It's, like, kind of like a food court that they have under, like, I would say, oh yeah, like, under a grocery store, an Asian grocery store. Such a huge grocery store. It was so cool. I'll also put some clips of the actual grocery store. It's called New World Mall, I believe. And yeah, so, like, it was really cool to just walk past because they had a lot of, like, fresh and even, like, live type of like, you know, food options. Like, you know, they had a live fish and stuff, so that was kind of cool to, like, just, like, look at. And then when we finally got to the food court, there were so many, like, you know, food options. But we went to this one spot where they were making the hand-pulled noodles right in front of us. And so there's a clip of that too. The food was the actual, like, you know, noodles, the broth, everything was so good. And yeah. And now I just need to contour my nose. You know, I also went to the Bengali area of Queens, and I went to another, you know, go-to restaurants over there. Sagar restaurant, so good. You know, it's just, like, you know, your typical type of food options when it comes to Southeast Asian food. But I had, like, a chicken shish kebab and some chicken biryani and some naan and cha, which is tea. It was so good. I'll also include, like, a little, like, clip of it. Like, they kind of already had the food prepared in a buffet style. You just kind of tell them what you want. So yeah, it was freshly made, so good. Very, very authentic, just like going to New York, you actually do get a lot of authenticity, you know, straight to the point, you know, very, very close to the actual culture, and not just, you know, they don't care about catering to, like, you know, people outside of their culture. So it just felt so real, and so, like, it was just a great experience overall in any kind of area that we went to. When it was Mexican, full on Mexican, you know, Chinese, full on Chinese, Bengali, full on Bengali. So I love New York, and I would not mind moving there one day. Just saying. I'm gonna go in with my two Kat Von D colors that I always use. I always repurchase them. So I guess I should just be clear that these two colors are in the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette. And yeah, I just use both these colors regularly for contouring, giving myself like natural type of shadows. And this is also a good type of crease base for the colors that I'm going to be using next. And so I'll go straight to that now. So I'm going to be mostly focusing on my It's My Ray Ray by BH Cosmetics palette. And this is the second palette that she has come out with, BH Cosmetics. And such a good palette. I'm still using it regularly. And I'm going to be using the color Flare. Don't mind my nails. I have not been taking care of them for like 2 weeks now. But this color right here is pretty similar to the color I have on right now. I'm like, you know what, like, let's just like keep the theme of, like, you know, keeping the same colors. And so, like, you know, this even is in the same color. So I was like, whatever, let's go with the flow of these colors. I really like am fucking with them. So I'm going to put a little bit, and I'm going to first start lightly and keep on building up. I think that's always a good way to go, instead of putting too much on your eye and then like it just going a little too out of hand. Okay, that's a good type of, like, you know, flush or base for the lid part. I'm going to be building off of, you know, what I already have here. So I know it kind of looks uneven right now, but that's totally fine. I'm going to go in with kind of like a flat type of, you know, eyeshadow brush using the same color. And I'm going to just use it to put it all over my lid, starting from the outside. I'm not focusing too much of the color on the inner part, just because I have an idea of what I want to do, which is like a half-ass type of like cut crease. And I mean half-ass because I'm not going to like put too much time into that. I kind of want it to look semi, like, you know, casual. And so I'm going to see if, you know, my idea will work out at the end. But right now, again, just focusing on this part here. I'm gonna like just make sure that like the blending, the color is on evenly for both sides. Alright. How do I look? So I don't really want to use shimmer for this look. Kind of want to keep it matte. I'm having like a mood for some like matteness today. Alright, so I'm going to be using from my Juvia's the Magic Mini palette, their white bone type of color, this one right here, and I'm going to be using that color to kind of, you know, do a soft kind of cut crease situation, and it's not going to be a full-on cut crease, it's just going to be from maybe like the inside to like halfway, but we'll see how this goes, because this is definitely me winging it. Oh, I think I fuck with this. I'm going to be going back and forth on both eyes. I'm not going to just do one and finish it, because I kind of like to do back and forth to make sure that I have the same type of shape on both sides, same type of, you know, color pigmentation and whatnot on both eyes. So that's why I'm doing this and not just doing one eye and then showing you how I did it on the other eye. I'm just not that profesh, you know. So it definitely looks light pink, but like it does not look bad. Like it's really cute. Alright. Very casual. Not trying to like do the most with this yet, at least. I think that because I'm also going to be adding like some kind of natural wispy fake lashes as well, so I kind of need to see how all that works together, and then I can build off after I put on the fake lashes. But so far this is how it's going to be looking. I'm going back in with the same flare color that I started off with, just to make sure that I'm not kind of blending out the actual, you know, important color, which is like this, you know, deep red / berry color. Okay, so I'm just going to be using two colors under my eyes from the same palette. It's my Ray Ray palette. It's going to be this brown color. It's like the second darkest brown, as well as this, the same color, the flare color. And then I'm going to go in with the darkest brown color and start smoking out the top eye. Kind of a subtle smoke. But I will be tightlining with just the Urban Decay black liner. And then I'll be popping on some falsies. So, 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I really like this eye look. I think that doing less and then popping the lashes was the move. So I'm gonna just keep this. Maybe I'll highlight my brow bone. Still thinking about it. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna jump into lining my lips. And I'm just gonna be using the color Nutmeg. It's a NYX lip liner. I'm like running out. Like, look at this. I need to like order, because every time I go to Ulta looking for it, they don't have it. So it's going to be a light line, just because I don't want too much of my lips being emphasized in this tutorial. Alright, I would say this is light. And then I'm going to use the Dose of Colors, my main lip color from the Desi and Katie collab. Okay, I'm fine with the lip. I feel like maybe I should have done something a bit more neutral on the lip, and I do have something more neutral, but I think it's fine either way. So yeah. Alright, so now on to blush. I'm going to be using what I'm always using nowadays is the Crease and palette, blush palette, and I'm just going to be using the deeper type of color, and I'm going to go light on this. I don't want to kind of like cancel any kind of like brightness out of my eyes. Like, you know, this is like a cute, you know, eye look that I kind of want to just keep it centered and focused on the eyes and not so much everywhere else. Like, I'm happy, like I said, but I think I'm just gonna do use like a white bonish color again and put some right under my eye, like very lightly. I just kind of to make this like purple deep reddish color pop a bit more. And then a little bit of that also down the bridge of my nose. Super light, nothing too crazy. And I think this is it. This looks good to me. What y'all think? I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, I think that this is a new kind of tutorial that I did, where I am not just doing my makeup and talking to you guys, but somewhat like taking you guys with me on like how I winged this eye look, as well as just talking about my trip to New York. Hopefully that was a cool little combo that I just did right now for you guys. Y'all, my shit stopped filming, so I'm just kind of replaying some parts of what I
was able to save, and just wanted to, close off this video, say thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys liked this video. Give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.